Question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the member for Casey.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Well, talking about roads in Victoria, it's very similar to talking about the economy. The Albanese government keep telling us how we've never had it better, the economy is flying, except every Australian is worse today than they were 2.5 years ago. Very similar to roads in Victoria. We just heard from the member for Bendigo about how great the roads are in Victoria, all the money that's going in, never had it better when it comes to roads. Well, that's news to my community because I was at the Lilydale show this weekend talking to locals despite the heat and the rain and the storms that came on a Saturday and a Sunday as we get in Melbourne, and roads was the second biggest issue we heard about behind cost of living. And my community know all about the Albanese Labor Government when it comes to road funding and cuts, because we had $100 million cut from our community from the Roads for Communities sealing program. That was a program that was going to seal 150 kilometres of road all across my community over 10 years. It was committed to by the Coalition in 2019. It had bipartisan support. The then Shadow Minister for Infrastructure, Anthony Albanese, committed to it. Anthony Albanese then, as the Shadow Minister, committed to the program. The program was being delivered on time and on budget. And the member from Hawke can continue to interject because I know his community is concerned about roads as well. And my community knows that that money was committed to by the then Labor opposition over 10 years. That project was being delivered on time and on budget. Senate estimates, the department confirmed that it was improving safety in the community, and it was pulled by the Albanese Labor government. So my community knows all about the promises when it comes to roads and the broken promises from this government. But we also understand firsthand why we need to continue to invest in roads. Melbourne Highway between Coldstream and Yea, through the RACV My Country Road Survey, was voted, unfortunately, as the most dangerous road in Victoria. As you go up that road, there's a significant challenge and intersection, a big sweeping bend at the corner of the highway and St Hubert's. Just recently I was driving the road and essentially had the old wobbles from the corrugation on a bitumen road. It was a moment where I was lucky to keep myself safe on that road. It's a dangerous road as you sweep. It's an 80-kilometre road, so the solution from the government is to put up signs slowing the speed to 40 kilometres. And that's the solution we get, not to actually fix the problem, but to put a sign up warning Victorians, warning members and community members in Casey to slow down to 40 kilometres on a road that should be sealed. I've been working with Cindy McLeish, the member for Eildon, the state member, to get that funding upgraded because it's a significant local road. It's a significant thoroughfare as people use that road for holidays, with caravans. Lots of trucks go on that road, and the best we can get is a sign telling us to slow down from 80 to 40. We also have Warburton Highway between Seville and Woorolloc that was in the top of that list of dangerous roads. As you drive along those roads, you see the potholes that are continuing to grow bigger and bigger. If we're lucky, we get a patch job and then it just happens again as soon as it rains. And it's going to get worse. As we know, the road maintenance budget was slashed by 95% in Victoria. So at a time when roads are worse than ever, the funding is being slashed, which means the problem is going to continue to exacerbate. Every week we get emails and calls in my office from residents that have been driving along, particularly at night, that hit a pothole, that have rim damage, that aren't able to be delivered. They have no faith in the federal government that funding will actually come because they know it has been cut before. They have no faith in the Victorian Labor Government that it will be delivered. We know Killara Road, as an example, is another project that shows that the Victorian Labor Government is unable to deliver projects. They've had that money to deliver that upgrade since 2019, and we get to the end of 2024 and we're still waiting for that project to start. Because that is the reality for the Victorian people, for the community in Casey. We commit funding, Labor will do two things. They'll cut it or they'll fail to deliver on the project. Now, they've said, the department, that the works will start in early 2025, so I'll await, Deputy Speaker, with interest whether the Victorian State Government actually get on with it and deliver some safer roads for my community.
Authorised by Aaron Violi, Liberal Party, Lilydale.